On this video, we're going to talk about Chris Hart. Chris Hart is yet again one of my disc golf buddies. Definitely Team Teets. I bet if I need to borrow $1,000, Chris Hart would probably loan it to me. Not positive, but maybe. Those are certain people in your life that would do that and certain that would laugh. Plenty of people would laugh at me. I don't think Chris would. Anyway, he asked me how to steal the knife, which is the, this thing here. Now, if I was to give the quick answer, I'd be like, how do you steal the knife? There you go. But if you've watched any of the videos, and I know Chris has, one of my first subscribers, it's not really that simple. So first of all, when you sharpen a knife on a stone, or if you use the little gizmo that I had talked about before where you drag the knife through it, it aligns like your knife should kind of like this all the way along the point. As you cut, maybe it does this. So some of the point is going that way and some of the point is going this way, or it looks like a shark tooth or a saw. And so when you steal the knife, it realigns all the little microscopic points on the tip of your knife. It's been a while since he asked me to do this, and it's because I'm thinking about it. It's going to be hard for me to put on video when and how to steal the knife. I can tell when the knife isn't cutting right. I hit it on the steel, and the next thing you know, you can feel it cutting into the cutting board. That's when it's good, especially if it's a plastic cutting board, which I don't recommend and I hate. But you can really feel it digging into the plastic after, if it's really sharp. It's going to be hard to put on the video, but I'm going to try. I let my knife is pretty dull right now, or it needs to be, I haven't run it across the steel in a while, although I just did. I might have fucked the video up. I left some vegetables out because if it's like crisp vegetable right off the tree, I can cut it with a butter knife. So I left a vegetable out, some tomatoes, some green pepper. I'm going to try and show you the difference between when I'm cutting something and the knife isn't perfect, and then I'm going to run it across the steel. And then we'll see what happens. Another thing is when it gets dirty, this one's pretty filthy. So I'm going to do it right now. You get a little vinegar. Either in the restaurant, I take a kitchen rag because the kitchen paid for it. I don't care if it ruins it. Today I'm going to use paper towel. Put a little vinegar on it and rub it all over the steel. So that's where we're going to start, is to clean your steel. Now, I just learned to sharpen a knife. I didn't have any technical. I just went up there with my knife and probably ruined like two trying to learn how to sharpen it. People argue about what angle you should have. 30 degree, 35 degree, 15 degree. So when I'm stealing the knife, you definitely don't want to be doing like a 90 degree, right? You don't want this thing like scraping up and down, right? So as far as the degree here goes, if I have to choose, I'm going for less of an angle, because then I might not be running the point across the steel because I need more of an angle. But if I'm going to mess it up, I'd rather be flat against it rather than out here like this. So when I'm doing it, I go for less of an angle. So let me clean this thing up. Let me try and cut some vegetables. We'll get that, and then we'll talk about stealing. Okay, we just got the cheap white wine vinegar. Don't go using your 60-year-old balsamic. You're using it as a cleaning solution. Here's my paper towel. I'm gonna dump a little on there. Take the steel and then just run this on. Look at that, from 2 wipes. All kinds of little metal filings in there. Now, just to clarify, this one, if you notice, it's kind of like oval or flat. It's a diamond steel. So they make the steel and then they like glue little pieces of diamond, like a diamond blade that cuts your tile or something, they put on hole saws. Diamond's very hard, so it's just dust, but they put it on there. So yeah, this thing was definitely ready for cleaning. So you want to get those metal filings out of there. Even on the wipe down, I doubt you can see it. Even on the wipe down, it's got some schmeg on here. Okay, here we have a green pepper. Okay. So when I drag the knife across there, I push the knife. See there, it takes a minute. There it goes. It finally went in. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me try again. If I push down, see it's not cutting. There it is. On the way back, it cuts. So if I push it forward, it's not cutting. As soon as I bring it backwards, it cuts. So that's another thing. This part of the knife is going to be different sharpness than this part of the knife, than this part of the knife, than this part of the knife. So when I'm in the kitchen, like, you know, cooking for 1500 for brunch at Commander's Palace, you don't always have time to be like fucking with your knife. You need to know where the sharp part of the knife is and where it is that it's cutting it. So maybe one day I'm out here on the tip, cutting it like, maybe the next day I'm back here on the back of the knife, you know? It could be up here on the tip and cutting like, you know, this, or I could be on the back of the knife like this. So it seems to be cutting pretty good on the back stroke, but not on the front stroke. Tomato seems to be cutting pretty good all around. See there, it's not cutting it. It actually slipped off. So I'm not really putting any pressure. But on the way back, it definitely cuts better. So I'm gonna drag this knife across the steel. I mean, really you should do it like this. I actually touch the knife on the way up so that, like, I know I'm touching it. I don't want to come down and, like, you know, what if I'm off the knife and I come down and I slice my thumb, you know, slice my thumb way open or something. So I always go on the upstroke, I'm actually touching it too, which you're not supposed to. I don't know if you can see it. A lot of my knives used to have a big divot right here, either from bad sharpening stone or bad steeling, but you'll end up with a little divot right here, you know, a little like half moon. So you need to watch it. But I mean, after a couple, you know, they're just kind of disposable. You know, I know as a cook, you pay $100 for a good chef knife. You're not making a lot of money, but you know, every 2 years you need a new one. So let's see. I would just go like this. I can feel the steel is gripping it because it's clean now. Always clean your knife. You don't want whoever's eating your food to get metal filings. Yeah, see, as soon as I touch it now, as soon as I move the knife, it's cutting. So that's a good sign. In fact, yeah, see, before I'd push it forward and it wasn't cutting. Right now, I mean, as soon as I move it, it's in the pepper. And if I was to do it backwards, remember this was rolling off on the forward. Oh, it goes right in. So there, the steel definitely, you know, definitely helped. I can tell right now that it's, you know, yeah, it's there. And on this one, I don't know if, oh, I can feel it kind of gripping into the board there. So I'm happy with that steel job. Here again, if you're gonna do it, don't do it like this, right? You don't want to do a 90 degrees. So if you're going to miss the angle, which is somewhere between like 20 and 35, I would go flat. Because then if you're doing it, it's not, at least it's not dulling your knife. You do it like that, you're dulling your knife. So go for less. And when I'm doing it, I can do it. And if I go to cut and it's not cutting better, I know I need to do a better angle. And I'll slow this down. Like I said, you're not really supposed to do it on the upswing, but I do it. Then when I'm doing something like diced tomatoes, you cut the same thickness of tomato. You may have seen this on another video. Try and cut the same thickness. Okay, and then I stack it up just like it was the original shape. So you stack it up just like it was the tomato. Like that. Then I come back, whatever thickness I made the cut, I try and make the same cut going this way, and I hold it there. Lost a little bit. Here again, trying to keep the natural shape. Sometimes you lose it, it's all right. And then you come back with that same thickness. Pretty good dice there. Now, if it was somewhere like, you know, Restaurant Danielle, we would do the tomato concasse, because the rich people on the Upper East Side of New York City don't want to eat the seeds, they don't want to eat the pulp, they don't want to eat the skin. So you would tomato concasse it, you would get just tomato petals, just the petals, this meat on the outside here, and that's what you would dice up. And it's actually easier to make a perfect dice when you're working with the petals. All right, so, and just a little refresher, this is a sharpening stone. I don't know if you can see. Oh, you can't. Yeah, right there. This one's the coarse side and that's the fine side. You can kind of see a line right there. So most sharpening stones are gonna have, most sharpening stones are gonna have a coarse and a fine. So you'd start off on this side with the coarse and then go to the fine. This one's a little bit small for a chef knife. Norton makes like the end all of end alls for sharpening stones. It's three-sided, it spins, it sits in oil. It's probably about twice as wide and twice as long. Now another refresher is I started cheating and using this thing. You got a coarse and a fine. Mine's starting to wear down. I may have to buy a new one, but it actually puts a pretty good edge on the knife. When I was working with my buddy, I picked up his knife, you know, because that's what I do. When I'm cooking with somebody, I want to see, do they got a sharp knife or is this some kind of clown? Picked up his knife, I was like, damn dude, that's a pretty sharp knife. You sharpen that? He's like, yeah, I got this, you know, little thing. I was like, ah, fuck that, that's a joke. But lo and behold, Teets has one. So anyway, sharpen with this or with this, and then on occasion, when you feel the knife is dulling out, you hit it with the steel. Hope that helps, Chris. Let me know, buddy. Anybody else got any ideas? Leave me a message.